Hey everybody, this is Strategywizard again. Today I'm going to be doing a review of Odin's Ravens. This is a game designed by Thorston Gimmler and it's published by Osprey Games. It's 2 players only, 20 to 30 minutes, ages 8 and over. And it is a pretty straightforward, simple game. Now I bought this game, it was a time whenever I was really trying to find games that my wife would really enjoy. And I was still learning what type of games she would like, but this was 2 players. It was going to be quick and simple, and I thought, you know what, and I really enjoyed the theme and the artwork that I could see, so I thought, you know what, I think it's worth a shot. I think she might enjoy it, and I think I'll enjoy it, and it's 2 players, it's quick, it sounds just right for her. So I bought it, we played it. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to play, and then I'll let you know what we thought of it. So here's the setup. You have 16 cards lined up. I actually have less than 16 because I wanted to make it easier to fit in this shot. But you'd have 16 of these cards, and you'll notice they have 2 location symbols or 2 geographical, whatever you want to call it, ecosystems. So, you know, and there's a whole deck of these things. You have a forest over here. You have some plains and fields over here. Nice little wheat. And basically, this is a racing game. Odin's let out his ravens, and they're going around the world. And so the black raven, in this case, will be going around the top. And then they will come down and come along the bottom. And the white raven's going to start at the bottom and come around to the top. So they're racing each other, trying to come back around to the beginning. So basically, what's going to happen is you have each player has 2 decks of cards. They have their own ecosystem cards that just have 1 ecosystem per card, and then they have Loki cards. Loki cards give you the possibility of doing some pretty crazy things. It could help yourself or hurt your opponent, or in different ways. And Loki cards, they have this symbology that you kind of have to memorize what it means, but most of it's pretty straightforward. Now, at the beginning of the game, you'll each have 5 cards in your hand, and you can choose to get a mixture of the ecosystem cards or the Loki cards, and then you'll start playing, and you can play as many cards as you want on your turn, and then after you're done, you drop to 3. The only thing is you have to discard down to 7 at the end of your turn. So let's just say I'm the black raven. I want to draw, say, 3 cards. 1, 2, and you draw 1 at a time. So I still haven't. Here's the thing. What you have to do, you have to play in the appropriate ecosystem to move. So I don't have the forest yet, and I've drawn 3 cards. So I could either draw a Loki card and hope that it gives me something that'll help me move, because Loki cards have a lot of different abilities, or I can keep drawing from here. In this case, I'm going to draw a Loki card and see what that does for me. Now, this particular Loki card makes it to where I can either flip a card to its opposite side. That could help me because I could flip this card this way, and I actually do. No, wait, I still don't have that. I thought that's what that was. That would not help me. I'm sorry. And then this Loki card could also. Oh, my OCD's kicking in. I could also discard a card altogether. Now that would help both of us because it makes a shorter distance for both ravens, but I could use it to discard something that's in my way that I can't deal with. In this case, if I got rid of that one, I still have to face a forest. So that doesn't help me. Now I have to decide, do I want to draw 1 more Loki card and hope I get lucky, or go for this? I'm going to go for this, and I don't have what it takes. So at the beginning of my turn, assuming I go first, I would just draw 3 cards because I can't do anything. I could do this for, maybe I want to flip this one down here. And there's a reason to want to do that, because what happens is, in my case here, there's 2 forests in a row. If I had a forest card and I played it, I would immediately skip to the last one. So the more of the same ecosystem you have in a row, the better. So if I flip this over right now, later when I get here, if I was here and I played this card, I'd play it in my discard pile. I could skip all the way over here to the end. That is huge. That's one way to really speed up your raven, is trying to get a lot of stuff in a row. And here's the thing though. If I did that too early, my opponent could probably get one of their Loki cards and mess that up. So I might not want to do it so early. I'd probably want to save it right about the time that I get there. So I probably wouldn't do that just yet. So I would just draw 3 cards and hope that I actually get what I need. I draw this, planes, no help. Oh, there we go. Finally got what I need. However, I know that I don't have this one, and that's unfortunate, but I do have snow, so on my next turn, I could end up swapping. I could flip this one over and making the snow on this side, and then I could move forward. However, what I would like to have done is done that earlier, because now my opponent's going to have the advantage of having 3 snow in a row, and whenever I come back around, if I flip that so that I can move here, I'm not going to get that advantage coming back at the very end. So you have to think about that too, long term. What you do on this side while you're over here, it could affect things on this side negatively or positively. So you have to keep that in mind also. But in this case, I drew my cards. I couldn't do anything else. That's too bad. My opponent, let's say they started off, they drew this. Oh, they can't do anything. Now they have what they need, but they're going to draw another one and hope they get a snow. Didn't get it. They're going to draw again. No. Now here's the thing. If you have 2 of the same, now and I could have done that over here, but I'm going to bring it up here now. If you have 2 of the same ecosystem, you can discard both of those as a wild, so I could use that as snow. So right now I know I can move here by discarding this card. I could play 2 of these as a snow. I could skip all the way over here, and then I could play this to go here. So I'm going to be able to get really far now. That's pretty impressive. So I'm just going to go ahead and get a Loki card and just see what awesomeness I can do. This Loki card makes it to where I can swap any 2 locations, ecosystem cards, or I can slide one down. Now the interesting of sliding one down, I can slide one like, let's say I slide it, let's say that on my turn I had done this, and he goes, ooh, I don't like that. I'm going to slide this way. So now his path is shorter on this side because he just skips from here to here, and now I don't have the luxury of having 4 in a row. He messed me up. So but let's say instead of doing that, let's say he wanted to swap 2. He could do that. He could say, you know what? I want to swap. Oh, perfect. Well, he could swap this for this, which, oh no, I got one that's even better. This one. Swap these 2 out. Now, my opponent has fewer in a row, and I've gained some in a row. So that would be powerful. So the Loki cards can do lots of crazy things to the map, or whatever you want to call it. But you have to have these to move. So you have to balance what cards you need or want to draw, because the Loki cards, once you discard them all, if you end up going through every one of them, you do not get any more. They're gone for good. You don't reshuffle them. Of course, these you will. Whenever if you go through your entire deck of these, you'll just reshuffle and continue. So that's how the game's going to continue. You're going to be moving along the track, and then you're going to loop back around and continue to mess with each other. Now I'll just go ahead and show you the other Loki cards just so you can see what they do. Let's see, we already know that one. Okay, this one, you can either draw 2 cards immediately, or you can draw a card from the deck and put it in this rather interesting fashion here. So you could draw from here, and you could place it like this. So suddenly, my opponent has to go, oh no, here, then here, then here, then here. So that can be extraordinarily disruptive, but very powerful for the player who plays it against their opponent. Okay, then, is there anything else? Oh yeah, I think this is the last one. Yeah, the last one, there's 2 of each Loki card. This one lets you move up for free or move your opponent back for free. So if you don't have the particular ecosystem that you need, you can just skip on ahead. Or if your opponent, let's say they just happily skipped along all the way up to here, you can move them back one just so they still have to use another one of those to get there. Just a little slap in the face, to be honest, but that's what the Loki cards do. So that really is how you play. Whoever gets around and to the last spot will win the game. Now let's go ahead and go up top and I will tell you what I think. Okay, so Odin's Ravens is, as you can see, a very quick, simple game. It's just a little racing game going around the world with your ravens, and it's, you know, beautiful artwork. The components are really nice. I mean, I really have nothing to complain there. The cards have a very interesting texture. I mean, they don't have the linen finish that a lot of quality cards have, but there's something about the way they feel that's just different than most other games I've ever played. They feel very sturdy. And I just like the way they feel. It's just very, very nice. All the artwork looks great. The ravens are, you know, very nicely made. I like those a lot. So components are awesome. Replayability I think is nice because the setup is always going to be different. The order of the different locations, the forest, the river, the snowy mountains, it's going to change each time because you have so many cards to deal from. I mean, you have oodles of different possibilities. So whenever the actual layout of the race map is going to change, and that keeps it interesting. But also the fact that you can draw cards as you please as far as getting the Loki cards or getting your regular location cards, and trying to figure out the best way to control and speed yourself up or slow down your opponent. That's a fun thing to do, and each time you might try to do it a little bit differently, and depending on what Loki cards you draw will probably change how your strategy has to adapt to the situation. So I really like that. I think there's plenty of replayability for a quick two-player game that's so simple and quick. Then as far as strategy goes, there's a good bit of strategy because, for one, deciding what cards you draw is very important because since you get to draw 3, let's say after you've moved, you realize I don't have the next location card that I need. You might draw a card from the location and go, oh, I still don't have it. Draw again, oh, I still don't have it. Draw a third time, oh, I still don't have the card I need. Of course, you might have 2 of the same kind, and then you can use that as a wild to go anywhere. But sometimes it's not. You want to keep drawing those to hope you get the right locations, but if you would have drawn from the Loki deck, you might have got the one that lets you just scrap a card altogether, in which case you didn't even need the location. Or you might get one that lets you swap it, which might make it to where suddenly you have multiple of the same in a row, so you can just shoot across with something that you do have and go farther. So, trying to decide what the best kind of card to draw is a huge deal. And it's fun trying to figure out, what's the best chance for me to be able to continue moving further ahead. And since you can only have so many cards in your hand, you have a hand limit, you have to be careful of, not getting to the point where you have a bunch of cards, because you want to maximize your turns. You want to be able to get as much done as possible, but you can't just keep on drawing until you can just go and just win. So you have that hand management thing going on, and even though I would say most of the time you're not going to get to the point where you have that many cards, but you could, if you really wanted to try to build up your hand so you can do as much as possible in one turn, you could do that and maybe get a lot done. And that's all part of the strategy. I like that part. So there's plenty of that for me. Now, as far as what we think, my wife, this is all that really matters. We recently played this, and we had played it a few times in the past, and I brought it back out. We played it again, and she said, well, I brought 3 games out, I should say, and I said, hey, which one of these do you want to play? And she chose this one. And we played it, had a good time, and after it was over, I said, why did you pick this one over the other 2? And she said, because I knew I liked this one. So she remembered how much she liked it originally, and she wanted to play it, and she still likes it. So that's big for me. That means whenever I bought it, with that intention, it worked. So I'm excited about that. As far as me, I also do really enjoy it. For a 2-player quickie game, there's plenty of stuff. There's that, take that kind of mechanism where you can hurt your opponent if you want, or you can just try to focus on helping yourself, and it's quick. And you can even adjust the length of the game by changing how many cards you have for the race. So if you want to have it longer, you could, or shorter, you could. You don't have to follow exactly what the instructions say. You can, do any number that you want. And I think that's awesome. You can make it short, long, quick, whatever you want, and it's just enjoyable. The artwork is so beautiful, and I don't know, it's just a well-designed game. I'm really excited about it. Glad my wife likes it, so I'm definitely going to give this an 8 out of 10. I recommend it for anyone who wants a great couples game, or just anyone who wants to have a simple 2-player racing game that has plenty of strategy, a lot of choices to make, and a little bit of take that where you can actually hurt your opponent. If you don't like games where you can hurt your opponent, then maybe this game isn't for you. But if you do like games like that, then this one fits the bill nicely. So that's my review for Odin's Ravens. I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Leave down in the comments below if you have any questions or anything that you'd like me to address that I didn't. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.